Hi, this is Brian with ActiveMelody.com. In this week's micro lesson, we're going to break down in detail a rockabilly style rhythm where we're going to learn the strum pattern with the right hand, we'll learn the notes with the left hand. If you need to download the tablature for this, you can go to ActiveMelody.com/micro and do a search for ML037. Alright, so this rhythm is really all about the right hand, knowing when to play down, when to play up, and the strum pattern that's involved. The left hand is actually doing very minimal work, so we don't have to focus so much on the left hand with this. Now, if you're a premium member, you can pull up the tablature and you can follow along that way. I'll have all the strum patterns listed out, which will make that a little easier. If you're not a premium member, you can watch the video and maybe take notes and try and follow along this way. But if you're not a premium member, I would encourage you to look into it. I put out 2 new lessons a week, and I've been doing that for years, and I have this entire back catalog of lots of really useful lessons. So if you're serious about playing guitar and wanting to learn how to improvise, look into premium membership. Okay, so there's my plug. Now let's get into this breakdown. So with the left hand, the first thing we're going to do is make an E chord. And the very first thing that I did with my left hand after I make the E chord is do this hammer on here. Pretty easy. I'm just taking my index finger off and hammering it down where it was in the E chord, which is the 1st fret, 3rd string. And then I play an A chord here, but don't think of it as an A chord, just think of it as all part of this E chord shape thing. It's just, we're just pivoting our hand a little bit. So I've got my ring finger down and I'm barring the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret. And then I go back to the E chord, do another hammer on. So from the beginning we have, just again, we're just watching the left hand. And then we do another hammer on, and then I played 2 upstrokes with the right hand, but it's hitting strings 1 and 2 out of that E chord. Then my pinky goes down on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, and we played that, which is an E, turns that E chord into an E6 chord. Now you hear a lot of 6 chords when you're listening to rockabilly. It's got that kind of nice hybrid between jazz, country, and blues. So from the beginning, the left hand looks like this. And that's it. Now that's all played over the E chord. What's nice about this is you can transpose this and play this over any chord. So if that's the E, so that's your 1 chord, your 4 chord would be up here. So look at that. These 3 fingers are making the same shape as the E chord. We've just moved everything up. So that means we can transpose everything we just played there and play it here. Just look at where it is in reference to the E chord shape. And this will be in the tablature, but it looks like this. And we're back. Look, here it is over the 5 chords. So it's pretty cool. That's a very useful rhythm. I like these things where you don't have to get out of capo or think about retuning or anything. It's very easy. Standard tuning, you can do this. Alright, now the next thing we're going to look at is the right hand technique. So it starts by playing the 4th string. We're going to do a downstroke. And then the next thing we do is another downstroke. So we have down, down, and then we have a muted down. So we have 3 downs in a row. And then we're going to play an upstroke on strings 2, 3, and 4, and then another muted downstroke. So notice that upstroke there was sandwiched in between 2 muted downstrokes. So altogether, thus far we have. Now if you don't learn anything else, you've already got an awesome Scotty Moore sounding rhythm with just that. So watch this. You could just loop that and play that over all the chords. Now, I know that's not exactly the way Scotty does it, but it's to illustrate a point that you can start to take these things and break them apart. So you don't have to think of them always exactly the way that I'm doing. So that's pretty cool. Now let's add to that. So we have, and then we're going to do another downstroke. There's that hammer on again. Another muted downstroke. So all together from the beginning. And then we have upstroke, upstroke. So that's up, and then we put our pinky down, 2nd fret, 2nd string, and we do another upstroke. Now the first upstroke I was hitting string 1, maybe strings 1 and 2. The second one I was hitting strings 2 and 3. If it happens to hit other strings, that's okay because you're making the whole chord there. And then after that there's 2 muted downstrokes like this. and then we just loop the whole thing. All right, so all together now, slowly from the beginning, sounds like this. Here's the 4 chord, back to the 1.